Good afternoon. Steve Harmon here, Oakland Cemetery, Hampton, Virginia. And today I'm going to try to go over an action plan that I created to try to get a nonprofit through the state of Virginia and approval from the IRS and the Historic Society. So this is a basic project here. I only set up to use the tasks, phases, and milestones, and I did set a baseline. But this project is full of constraints and contingencies, so you might be able to see maybe like why I stopped. But I'll go over. So I estimated about 223 days, and so I started it on 9/1 of 2021. Estimated completion date would have been 7/8 of 22. Okay, and so you'll see the different categories that I have here, and I'll go over some of them. And so one here, say pursuant approval of property owner, the deed of trust, deed holder, liens, city assessment, federal tax, state tax, real estate tax, escrows, easements and right-of-ways, and judgments. And there's a milestone. Well, we don't have a LLC, a limited liability company, set up, but I know that you do have to have one. And if it's still in a private owner's name, excuse me, I think it could be a big constraint. The other thing is it's going to take community engagement with other people. I know, like any other company, you need a CEO, you need a treasurer, and you need uh, a secretary. And so I think these are the minimum requirements. And so then you need good vision statement. Well, I put out a request. A couple people had a concern that they would like to try to do it. And so I put it out, and you got ownership, communications, donations, maintenance, and there's another milestone. And then fraud information. Well, you want control, communications, and the culture. Well, what I did do was I subscribed to the IRS newsletter that they put out on for nonprofits. And what they did send out one time was a good video of basically your control, communication, and culture, uh, and how fraud could be into your nonprofit. And that really got me thinking. They did a really good job on that. So that's a really important thing to consider when you're doing nonprofit. Uh, and then, your nonprofit, your IRS, uh, 501c, your tax exempt, again for state 101c. You could request faith based, local churches, and uh, the community, local businesses. Well, like I said, these have to be done before you can uh, even think about going out asking for funds or support. All right, Historic Society here. These things that I got off of the requirements for the Historic Register to get approval. Your archaeologists, the archives, certification by local governments, easements, environmental review, historic markers. Well, all these are real important, and I do have them listed. The other thing I did, I think I read on there, like you could apply for a grant for like military stones. Well, there's like over 300 military stones in there. I think you could apply for a $2 or $3 a year grant for these stones. That would be really helpful to get the material for resetting them and to clean them. That would be real helpful because there is an expense in this if you use the right materials and some necessary permits. Well, you can see the Army Corps of Engineers and the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, they're 100% complete. Now, the action item that the city put out, this was one of the items on there. And what I did do, I immediately went to them and I contacted them. And both the groups were very helpful and they understand what we're doing down there. And I notified them. There's a uh, federally protected wetlands there. And we we pretty well have the boundaries. Basically, they're really set because of the the growth is right at the boundaries of them. So they've been uh, pretty easy to identify. And then they came in and the head contractors come in and they cleaned out the storm drains that drain to the Chesapeake Bay. And there's a man-made drain that comes across about 3/4 of the way across the cemetery, and a lot of that comes from different areas, but it brings in a lot of trash. We do try to keep that clean when it comes out and keep the bank clean and the water flow going in a good flow. Uh, but we're in constant communication with them and establish a volunteer pool. Well, I haven't established one. A lot of it been done by word of mouth. I haven't put online a request, Like I say, most of it's been done by word of mouth. Uh, so if there's any comments, and I'm sure there's other people out here that's done similar, and but thanks for taking the time to look at this. Have a good day.